Let's talk about the Day of the Dead, a family festival filled with joy and remembrance. It's not as spooky as you might have been led to believe. From ancient traditions to skelly costumes, let's grab some sugar skulls and get started. The Day of the Dead, or Dia de los Muertos, has its roots in ancient Mesoamerican traditions. Civilizations like the Aztecs and Maya believed that death was a natural part of life's cycle. The spiritual holiday originally honored Mictēcacihuātl, the Lady of the Dead and Queen of Mictlan, the underworld. The Aztecs believed it was her duty to guard the bones of the deceased, which were thought to be used to create new life in the land of the living. As their protector, Mictēcacihuātl watched over these bones, even after they were taken to the world above. Once a year she would ascend to the land of the living to ensure the bones were being properly cared for. In her honor, the Aztecs held celebrations of death, filled with dancing and feasting, to thank her for her protection. When the Spanish colonizers arrived, they brought Catholic beliefs that eventually blended with indigenous practices. This cultural fusion moved the Day of the Dead from summer to be celebrated on November 1st and 2nd, coinciding with All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day instead. But don't be fooled, this is no somber affair. Instead, it's a lively celebration of life, death, and everything in between. Interestingly, our queen of the underworld, Mictēcacihuātl, was associated with butterflies, and the Aztecs believed that the souls of the dead would return as butterflies and hummingbirds. It is around Dia de los Muertos that the monarch butterflies migrate to Mexico, believed to be the spirits of loved ones returning. The heart of the Day of the Dead lies in its rich traditions, which vary from region to region. One of the most iconic is the creation of ofrendas, or altars, in homes and cemeteries. These altars are beautifully decorated with marigold flowers, candles, incense, and photos of the deceased. But it's not just about decoration. Each item has a purpose. The altars are filled with the favorite foods and drinks of the departed, often different depending on the region. The offering usually consists of a variety of traditional foods, such as tamales, fruits, breads, and even tequila. Water is a crucial element often placed on altars to quench the thirst of spirits after their long journey from the underworld. It also symbolizes purity and life. Pan de muerto, or bread of the dead, is a traditional Mexican sweetbread shaped like skulls or bones, thought to nourish the spirits of the departed. Another common offering on altars is sugar skulls, brightly decorated to reflect the deceased's personality and the vibrancy of life. Then there's mole, a rich, complex sauce made from a blend of ingredients such as chilies, spices, nuts, seeds, and sometimes chocolate. The preparation of mole is a time-consuming process, symbolizing the love and dedication of the family in honoring their ancestors. It's believed that the spirits return to enjoy these offerings, and the marigolds, with their bright orange petals and strong scent, help guide them back to the world of the living. The marigold's vivid colors and rich fragrance also symbolize the delicate beauty of life. Copal incense is another traditional item used during Dia de los Muertos, burned on altars to help spirits find their way there and communicate with the living. The brightly colored decorations also add to the symbolism. Papel picado, or decorative tissue paper cutouts, is a traditional hanging decoration. The delicate designs represent the fragility of life, and the movement of the paper as it sways in the breeze is believed to symbolize the presence of spirits. Celebrations often extend to the cemeteries, where families gather to clean and decorate graves, share stories, and enjoy meals together. Some towns even hold lively parades, with people dressed in elaborate costumes as skeletons, spirits, and characters from Mexican folklore. But remember, while the atmosphere is festive, it's all done with deep respect for the deceased. Speaking of costumes, one of the most recognizable symbols of the Day of the Dead is La Catrina, the elegant skeleton lady dressed in fancy clothing. La Catrina was originally a satirical figure created by Mexican artist José Guadalupe Posada to poke fun at those who tried to adopt European aristocratic traditions. but she has since become an icon of the celebration, and her likeness is used not only as costume, but in countless places as art, advertising, and beyond. The use of skulls, or calaveras, in Day of the Dead celebrations is rooted in ancient Mesoamerican art and religion. The Aztecs often used skull imagery to represent death and rebirth. This long-standing symbolism explains why skulls are so prevalent in the modern celebration. Beyond the influence of José Guadalupe Posada's La Catrina, face painting is another popular tradition. The intricate designs of skulls, known as calaveras, are not just for show, they symbolize the idea that death is a beautiful and natural part of life. But while these practices are central to the Day of the Dead, it's important to approach them with cultural sensitivity. If you're participating in Day of the Dead celebrations, remember that this is a sacred time for many people. It's not Halloween, and dressing up should be done with respect and understanding of the cultural significance. When in doubt, it's always best to learn from those who celebrate and to honor their traditions with care. Some non-Latinos have mistakenly interpreted the imagery of skulls and skeletons associated with Day of the Dead as witchcraft. In some regions with practices of witchcraft, healers known as curanderos or brujas may perform special rituals during this time to protect the living from malevolent spirits and to ensure that the spirits of the dead are at peace, but this would be part of their normal practice and is not the purpose for the day. The focus is on family, respect, and remembrance. That being said, although Dia de los Muertos is not a spooky or creepy affair, a family get-together is not a bad time to share folk tales or stories. One such legend is that of La Llorona, the weeping woman, who is said to wander near rivers, searching for her lost children. Her mournful cries are believed to be a bad omen, especially during the nights when the veil between the living and the dead is thinnest. In some communities, people engage in a game called calavera literaria, where they write humorous poems about death, often poking fun at friends, family, or even politicians. These light-hearted verses remind us that death is a part of life, and that it's okay to laugh at it sometimes. And if you're lucky, you might even catch a puppet show featuring skeletons dancing and playing out comical scenes, adding a playful twist to the celebration. Dia de los Muertos celebrations can vary significantly from region to region. For example, in the town of Pomush in Campeche, people clean the bones of their dead loved ones as part of the celebration. While the Day of the Dead is deeply rooted in Mexican culture, its influence has spread around the world. In the United States, for example, the celebration has become increasingly popular, especially in areas with large Mexican-American communities. The Day of the Dead was recognized by UNESCO as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity in 2008. But wherever it's celebrated, the message remains the same. Death is not to be feared, but embraced as a natural part of life. Ultimately, the Day of the Dead is a time to reflect on our loved ones who have passed, to honor their memory, and to celebrate the lives they lived. It's a reminder that, in the end, death is not an end but a continuation, a transition into another realm where our ancestors watch over us. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Bramble Fairy.